The 2022 Scorpio new moon reaches its maximum phase at 3:49 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Tuesday, the 25th day of October, 2022, at 2 degrees. The energy of the 2022 Scorpio new moon will be felt from Saturday, the 22nd day of October, through Friday, the 28th day of October, 2022. New moon phases represent new beginnings and fresh starts. Yet, in order to have a truly new beginning, there must be a clearing away of what's completed. This is where Scorpio is masterful, bringing what needs to come to an end, and clearing out what no longer serves. Scorpio is the zodiac sign that brings forth transformation. Transformation is the death of an old way of being in order to allow a new way of being to be born. This means that what something was, or who someone was before, cannot be again, because what or who they were before symbolically dies. The being that comes to an end will begin anew as a different being altogether, much like a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Transformation is a cellular and energetic evolution. With its fixed water energy, I often use the saying, "Still waters run deep," to explain Scorpio's energy. Diving below what's usually a calm surface in order to reach the places within us that are the most vulnerable. These deep dives into ourselves help us develop trust and intimacy with ourselves and others. These depths and the connections we form by diving into them are the places in our psyches where transformation occurs. We must feel the symbolic death in order to fully manifest it. And if we're truly committed to transforming our lives, we must feel the desire for that transformation in the depths of our being. This is why it simply cannot be a surface level cosmetic or aesthetic change. Transformation is truly allowing yourself to let go of what you've known yourself to be in order to become someone entirely unfamiliar to you, yet on some level, someone you've always known yourself to be. To this point, Scorpio is known for dealing in extremes. Unlike its opposite sign, Taurus, which likes to find its comfortable place on the grayscale, Scorpio prefers the decisiveness of black and white. There's no sitting on the fence or both sides of matters for Scorpio. It's in or out, yes or no, all or nothing. This alone can make Scorpio energy intense and intimidating for many people. But this 2022 Scorpio new moon is especially intense for two more reasons. The first reason is the Sun and Moon's conjunction with Venus during this new moon phase. This means that one-on-one relationships of any and all kinds may be sources of great revelation for us, burning away any obstructions to accessing our deepest insecurities and fears. Now, this is great for those of us who want to get to the bottom of our emotional depths, to clean out the wounds, heal them, and move on from them. Yet, this won't be so great for those of us who want to keep our emotional wounds hidden, as our partners, friends, and or others may bring our secrets out of the shadows, pushing us to face them, admit to them, and own them. The second reason is due to this Scorpio new moon also being a partial solar eclipse, with its maximum eclipse occurring at 4 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, only 11 minutes after the new moon's maximum phase. In a solar eclipse, the moon obstructs the sun's light from reaching the earth. This could be symbolically translated into emotions getting in the way of self-illumination and or conscious transformation. But in the case of a partial eclipse, this obstruction is not complete. Therefore, emotional motives are partially, if not fully, exposed despite efforts to hide them. Under the influence of this 2022 Scorpio new moon, this partial eclipse could actually make these revelations explosive, because those who are being exposed may feel they're being backed into a corner, unable to do anything to defend themselves but to act out in the most volatile ways possible in an attempt to escape the prison of their own making and the consequences that might come with it. As if the astrology wasn't enough, numerologically, the maximum phases of the 2022 Scorpio new moon and partial solar eclipse will be occurring on a 5 universal day, in a 7 universal month, in a 6 universal year globally. This is one of the rare times all global time zones will be in the same numeric energies, which makes this powerful new moon and eclipse even more profound. These numeric energies indicate that the changes we're all experiencing, both individually and collectively, will likely be the focus of our attention on the day of this new moon's maximum phase, especially during the eclipse. These changes are forcing us to think about where we are in this moment, to address the past, as the past is at the root of the wounds being reopened now, and to complete and clear away the elements of that past that not only no longer serve us well, but which may also be holding back our transformation. This process could result in some very unexpected events, as many of us who believed we could weather the changes in our lives as we always have, may now experience a transformation of ourselves and our lives, whether we intended it or not. As shocking and upsetting as this process may be for us, it'll be important for us to remember that it has the potential to have a very positive outcome. If I were to give an analogy or paint a scenario which explains how all of these dynamics combine, it would be the equivalent of getting ready to go on an airline flight to the next chapter of your life's journey. Going through the security line, then finding out that everyone coming through must have their bags opened and inspected. You may not want your bag to be inspected, but it's going to be, and whatever you're carrying in the bag is going to be seen. Now, because the new moon is about clean slates and fresh starts, you're not going to be allowed on your flight if you're carrying the past. You don't get to bring all of that with you into the next chapter of your life. All that old emotional baggage must be left behind. To be able to start from a truly clean and clear slate, you cannot take the past with you. It will not define you in your next chapter, no matter how much you may want it to. And that's the thing about this 2022 Scorpio new moon and partial solar eclipse. Some of us will want to take our past with us. We will want the past to continue to define us, and we may even convince others that we need to allow our past to define us, for better or worse. Not because we necessarily want it to, but because we're afraid to take those steps into the unknown of what's on the other side of our symbolic death. We're afraid to find out who we might be without our past to define us. Those of us with the courage to allow our self-identities to symbolically die may discover that this releasing of our past is actually liberating. By no longer allowing the past to define us, we're able to move forward, no longer bound by the outdated expectations or reactions of others or even ourselves. By leaving the emotional baggage behind at the gate, we're free to create our identities and our lives newly. We're able to leave our caterpillar crawling days behind us and to begin using our newly formed wings